Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and welcome back to Let's Play Factorio. I'm 7footDustBunny, and you'll see I've actually piped the grey science over to here because I think this is the best way to go for now. There are a couple of other colours here which I just happen to have a bit of in my inventory. Hopefully these will get grabbed by these little arms and it won't be a problem. Hopefully, maybe, possibly. The blue ones might be, but we'll see. However, the main goal of today is actually to start getting the circuits up and running, because I'm going to need to start going to yellow science soon, and for that I need ridiculous numbers of circuits. But without my big circuit factory over there, I will not have the ridiculous number of circuits required, because you need blue circuits. As you can see, this means that science is on the go. But in order to get the circuits running, I'm going to need power. Because at the moment, power, we're not terrible, but as soon as we start all that up, we're going to be terrible. Because then the factory's really going to start pushing again. I've only just started the science going again, which means we're starting to consume. And we're going to start to see the numbers shoot up rapidly. Now, this does not appear to be up and running 100% just yet. It's getting there, and as some have pointed out in the comments, this will make a ludicrous amount of uranium-235. But really, I'm just doing it to get things going. But I think what we need to do is steal some uranium-235 from this system and basically use that to get ourselves up and running. So we're going to take 60 should be enough, and we 50 apparently, and we should be able to put 25 in each, and this will get these running. This should then make some of these, which are fuel cells. So once the fuel cells are made, which actually it makes six fuel cells? It makes 10 fuel cells. Wow. Okay, that makes more fuel cells than I had planned. So that is a lot of fuel cells that it is making. And we'll end up having to come up with a system for prioritizing the uranium onto the belts. But this will then flow to here, which will then go onto this one. Dum dum dum, dum dum dum, dum dum dum, and they go flying around, and these will pick them up, and this begins to fire up. And as you can see, the temperature on this rises slowly. It'll probably use an entire fuel cell just to reach maximum temperature, and this in turn takes time to reach temperature. And is it? Oh no, there's supposed to be steam in that one. I was wondering where the water was. So that will go and build up, and we should have plenty of fuel cells on there. But the temperature, as you can see, is rising rapidly, and that will then start to power these, and hopefully these steam generators will kick out very shortly. The next issue is going to be providing the 238, I think it is. Is it that way around? 235, 238? Yeah, the 238 for making more fuel cells, and using that and disposing of the old fuel cells, because the old fuel cells will eventually back up a bit as well. So we'll get rid of those, and we need to get this one going, which I'm just going to do through there at the moment. And I'm going to make a factory here, or an assembler, just to get rid of or take apart the fuel cells. So, pressing the wrong buttons. So what we should be able to do is reprocess depleted cells. Can we not do that yet? Apparently not. I thought I researched dealing with depleted fuel cells. Is that not a thing under the nuclear processing cover rack? Yeah, I thought I do have nuclear reprocessing. So do I might need something else for nuclear reprocessing. I might need, for example, one of these for nuclear reprocessing. Let's just have a look and see. Yes, this does nuclear reprocessing and use 5 used up fuel cells and produces a bit of 238. So at the moment, until this all gets going, I am not going to worry about that. Then I will probably end up taking some of these offline, a couple of these maybe offline, and using them for nuclear reprocessing. So at the moment, all I'm going to do is I'm going to just container a bunch of these just to keep them out of the way, and then I can deal with that later. But now we should be seeing the temperature of this. Has it started to glow yet? These lines glow eventually. They're up to 350 degrees. The boilers require it, I believe, in the region of 500. Yeah, minimum temperature is 500. So I'll keep it going for a couple of minutes and then I'll show you what it looks like when it starts going. Okay, so the moment, I believe these eventually start glowing. They are getting hot enough to produce some steam. As you see, steams are coming down the line and some of these generators are starting to kick in. You'll also notice on here that under the output it says 80 megawatts plus 100% neighbor bonus. Now when we put those two in, we will get extra neighbor bonus for that. I might be tempted to put them in and just not fuel them, because I might get the extra neighbor bonus for that. I don't know if you do if they're not fueled, but yeah, this is now rising. Eventually these will start to glow, which we'll have a look at later on, I suspect, but these are starting to output some power. Not massive amounts at the moment, 1 megawatt, but that should very much be changing the face of our power supply here. Yes, suddenly we have 380 megawatts of power available to us. So we are cooking with gas now, or technically uranium. So over at this end, where we have all the power generation we've been using up until now, I'm likely to just break this and shut it down and see what happens, because we shouldn't need that power generation anymore. I should just keep it to turn it on in an emergency and see if we can get things running again in an emergency. Hopefully we won't need that. So let's check out what we've got here, and at the moment we've got blue circuits, I believe, coming this way. That might not be what we want. I probably want them going the other way, and I didn't realize that. So let's swap that round and just get that flow going the other way before we bring it online. There we go. And let's bring that back as well. Shouldn't need that. That's as far as we're going to go. And we've got our iron. Our iron should be more than enough. Our iron says it's missing fuel, so I think we've paused up there, and we're probably not, yeah, we've not stuck in the splitter on that side. So let's get that splitter in, and yoink and yoink. Problem solved. Iron will start kicking in now. I believe there should be enough here to let's get rid of some of this, because that's going to be in the way. We'll get rid of these trees for the minute. We're going to bring the iron up this way and get it over. Alright, let's get rid of some of those trees. That's, like I say, going to be a pain in the ass. So what I want to do is bring the iron over. Oh god, that's not what I want. See, now I want this to come out in a straight line. I need little local bots or something. Let's bring it up this way. I think that'll work. So let's get you coming down here, turning up, and we'll probably have to splitter it in the not too distant future around here somewhere to go into the other one. But we can splitter that at the time. But now we can just run it straight in. And like I say, we may need to refine the position of these lines later on, but for now we can just do that. And that iron is coming in, and that should mean circuits aplenty. So this first row of circuits is very simply just going to run up into here and go into the existing system for now, just to bring across extra circuits into the existing system. I could just pipe some copper up there, and that would probably work too. I am noticing that all our iron is getting consumed. We'll keep an eye on where that gets to, because this may be overkill in length by quite a way. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to bring it in here. Just temporarily. This is very much a stopgap patch-up system, just to make sure our existing system keeps running at maximum speed. So I'm going to run it through here. Let's get rid of all these. These are not going to be required, so let's get rid of them. Hopefully, yes, you're coming to bring me a bunch of red belts. Now I'm going to put a red belt across here. You are going to splitter in, and you will take priority. You are going to priority input from the left. So we're going to get rid of this first, just to basically eventually clear this area out. And we are going to upgrade all of this as well along here. Yep, all of you are in upgrade land, because we're going to want this upgraded to be as fast as it possibly can be, right up to here where it splits out into two lines, because that should be enough. Once it gets into the two lines, it should be able to split all that out and it'll be fine. So the bots will be getting on with that, and as you'll be able to see, this is where our power consumption goes up just by getting bots involved. It's surprising how fast your power consumption rises. So here we go, and circuits aplenty are on the way now to our main belt. And these should be running through, and this should have this system running. Like I say, this might be too much, and what I might have to do is split it out in a different way, so as it goes from both sides or something like that. At the moment, we're just gonna let it run and see what happens. Then I'm going to look at then having some more red circuits further down, because I'll probably end up with a couple of repeats of this down here, and then down here we'd have red circuits. So what I'd probably want to do, and this is just for temporary spacing sort of setup, is if we copy here, I know I'm going to want one I can tell it to stop and not do this afterwards, I think, but 1, 2 and 3, so it's probably going to need to be about here somewhere. So I'm going to say level with that tree should be okay. That's where I'm going to need to build red circuit land. Now red circuit land, I'm actually just going to clone off our red circuits from up above. So let me go and get a copy of that, and then I will come back down. I'm still on the way to get the red circuits at the moment, but as you can see, this is already completely filled up this system for green circuits, which is making it run at absolute full tilt. Now here, this should now be, yeah, all the green circuits are getting down here, and this should be running full tilt. Now this we're probably going to extend out, and this is what I was talking about with the other setup. We might end up with a setup like this where it comes out the middle, and we have it going from both sides. But for now, I am just going to copy this, yoink, and paste this further down, where hopefully I'm going to find what I think feels like the middle. I might end up moving it afterwards, but we'll get it pasted down, and we'll adjust the layout to be a bit bigger, and this will keep a lot more red circuits going. The other thing we're probably going to have to look at upgrading might be the plastic supply. At the moment, plastic we have quite a bit of, and I'm just going to taper some off because we're clearly not using all of that plastic supply. So let's get this down. The moment there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 sets there. This has 6 sets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We want somewhere about there, all the way down to this tree about there. And then this we're going to extend out, and we'll be taking the green circuits off and bringing them in. So here we should be able to, again, if we just copy, let's copy this like so, and we should be able to just extend this out. I think one more. I'm going to go one more. I might go 2 more. Go big or go home, right? So that's that one. This one we're going to have to strip the end off here, and then we'll have to just get all that sorted. I can see that our setup for building is not ideal. And that's the one thing I've probably screwed up on here, is I may have wanted to space this slightly better for construction and logistics, but as is, I'm going to put logistics here down the middle, and let's get that one down, and then we can build some out in just a second and get all that sorted. So I'm going to also copy and paste this setup here, and I can copy and paste this down to get this working a bit better. So that will 1, power this setup, and 2, provide logistics support. So what we might want to do is take away those there, because this will allow this to connect into the other network. So let's get rid of some of these right here, this wall, because let's be honest, this wall is pretty much superfluous now. We might have to build out some protection a bit further down. I'm saying paste. There you go. And what? Electric pole is in the way. Yeah, I know it is. Please paste. There we go. Paste anyway. Beautiful. Perfect. So this will help bring all that into play. And we need to get an electric pole in that gap right there. That will help power bots. Now the bots can make a reasonable distance outside the logistics network to make this work anyway. So let's get rid of this right here. And then we can copy and paste the bit next to it. So now we want to copy. I'm going to copy pretty much all of that. But unfortunately, I need the bots to pick that bit up first. Come on, bots. Come pick up. Come to get rid of the bits I need you to get rid of. I am intrigued a second. How is the power looking? Yeah, now we're almost already about to max out our old power supply. Because we had 76 megawatts. There we go. For a second there, we went over our old power supply. So you can see why I wanted this on before I embarked on building this out. Because it was just going to end up being a disaster straight away. Did I pick up everything that needed picking up here? I think so. Right. Let's paste down the bit we need to paste down. Let's get this lined up here. Like so. 1, 2. Is two enough? Or have I... Oh, I've put the power pole in a silly place. Okay, that power pole is going to have to move, and we'll have to stick it around here. That'll be fine. Then we can paste at least another one in. I think that will probably be enough. I don't think that's even, though, to be honest. The little run out is... Oh, it's hard to see. It's here in the middle, I think. There. And we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I'm going to see if I can squeeze another one in. Just to make me feel better about myself. And there we go. Now again, this might all need the upgrade pattern because we're going to want to go to red belts along here for the copper to have plenty of copper. I don't want to risk it being low, and red belts for us now are pretty cheap. So let's stick the upgrade tool on all of that to go to red belts. Good. And then we can start working on plugging this up as it needs to go. So we need a bit of this, a bit of that, a bit of that. We need to work out what we're doing with this later. But this, I think, will be coming the other way because we'll bring green circuits down and in, and we'll siphon off some plastic and bring it in as well. So this needs a splitter, and this needs some copper, for which we'll grab from this copper, the second to last copper. For now, just so I've got a copper in reserve. Let's bring that down. Am I going to make it? Am I going to run out of belts? I'm going to run out of belts just. So I will ghost that in. There we go. And this will get up and running very shortly, hopefully. In the meantime, while the bots are doing all this, like I say, this is why it's good to have the power, because we would be on the ragged edge here. And the more this operates, the more power we use. As you can see, bots here are running into power issues, so they're charging up. This one says it's not connected. You don't have power? You don't? Why don't you have power? What are we missing? Is that one a ghost? That one's a ghost, isn't it? There we go. Now you have power. That's better. But yeah, we keep hitting the 80. So we would have been absolutely starting to crush our old power input supplies. So that is a good thing that we have supplied enough power not to do that. So for now, again, I will siphon off from here. Eventually it'll all go down this way. But I need to get one. I am not stood in a logistics zone, am I? No, I am not. I need to make this part of the logistics network because I need to be getting stuff and things. So I'm gonna purposely try and make this part of the logistics network now. Let's get that working a second, because long term it's going to be a problem if we don't have these in the some of this area at least in the logistics network. Because one, the bots will slow down. Two, it means I'm not getting the bits I need to make things. Because right now I am going to have to ghost all this in. Because there's just not enough. So I'll bring these circuits down. And this is all going to go this way. Like so. And then I'll have to bring some plastic down this way as well. And we'll get the plastic running into the same thing. Then hopefully it'll all be good. Look at all the bots. Look at it all. It's beautiful. Now this is where, because of the pure numbers and the rate at which we're building here, you can see we're hammering the bots, and pretty much I can check, like, all the bots are probably in use. Somewhere you can actually check what's in the network, but not logistics bots, but all the construction bots are in use. And this is where you want to go up to the logic and say, right, let's start having some more construction bots then, to make things a bit faster, to make things keep going. I mean, there's bots plowing in over here, grabbing stuff. Oh, I love watching this part of the game. I enjoy it so much. Right, let's have a look here. Where is bot factory? Did I? No, that's not bot land, is it? Botland's further down. I've already passed botland. I'm confused there for a second. So we need to look at this logic. And this logic is saying we need to look at this logic. So I'm going to change this to be 2k. I want 2k of construction bots. So it's going to start chucking additional construction bots into the network to help us out and build things faster. I mean, one thing we will find is that it'll say missing some things at times, but the factory should be working on that as well to go as fast as it can. Right, we're going to get rid of these guns here. See, bots already on the way. That's what I want to see always. As soon as I give a command, I want to see bots on the way. And this is going to go over this way. And we'll bring the plastic down. And why have I ended up with bullets in there? For the briefest of moments, I've ended up with bullets mixed in. Oh, I can see why, because those are still there. And they are dropping bullets on the line. Alright, I'm also going to run out of bloody stuff again. So, let's bring this down on a ghost line to about here. And then I'm going to bring... Oh yeah, I've ballsed up because I should want half and half here. So let's grab those green circuits. And I will need to turn the line around as well. So what I should do is let's bring this up one earlier just to make this a bit easier for my poor little brain. then I can see there's a step better. And I want to go like that. And like that. And then this one we can bring in over here. Like so. And the plastic keeps running. And this will up our oil consumption considerably, but I don't think we've had a big issue with oil consumption, so I'm not going to worry about it for now until it becomes a problem. Need to be careful here because this now needs to go all this way. So we need to just run through here, changing the direction of this line all the way through. And now this should be working. Now whether or not, again, this is going to be able to supply enough plastic and circuits, I think it will, because red circuits are that much slower. So I think it'll take a little while just for them to get started. But we'll have to see. If not, I'll have to pipe another line around and bring it up. But we'll see how we get going here. So as you can see, we already have an absolute bunch of red circuits right here. And this will be red circuits coming out. So yeah, we'll have to see how this settles in once the red circuits really get going, because already some green circuits are getting down to here. I think it will get all the way down. It just depends on demand versus whatever. So now I'm going to be bringing red circuits up. I could bring red circuits in a different way, but I think I'm just going to bring it up. I don't see why not. Let's have a look at where red circuits are typically going. I don't remember. Because at the moment I'm feeding red circuits off this line into the bus. I don't actually need to do that anymore, because red circuits are coming in here. So what we'll do is I'll be having, I suspect, 2 lines of red circuits. I think I might go 1 line of red circuits. I'm going to go 1 line of red circuits for now. And what I'm also going to do, which will be fun, is upgrade this one run of the bus to red. Because I don't think it needs it yet. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes once we've got lots of red circuits running through here. No, I've changed my mind again. I've changed my mind a second time. It's going red. So this part of the bus up to, say, here somewhere, or am I going to go all the way? Let's go all the way. This part of the bus is all going to go over to red. Yep, there we go. What is going on there? That's fine. So we'll let the bots get on with that as well. And we'll bring a line down. And because I was thinking of, can I train them in? But training them into this area is just going to be so difficult. So I don't see that as a viable sort of option at the moment. I think it's going to be better. We're going to be better off maybe just going all the way straight down there and coming out. So let's get that the right way around. Bring this down. We're definitely chewing up our red belt supply, which is one of the reasons I think we're not receiving many red belts. at the moment is basically because we've just chewed up our entire red belt supply, and the factory is working to get us more as fast as it can. But this will bring red circuits into the fray. Next up will be blue circuits. And blue circuits, I believe, is what we're going to need for... we're going to need some blue circuits for golden science, which is really where we're going next. So we need like electric engines, blue circuits, batteries, plastic, all these things. So, well, actually you need the flying robot frame, the low density structure, and the processing unit. But we'll have to be making a bunch of those on site. We're not going to make the blue circuits on site. Ooh. We will be making the blue circuits down here and piping them up. Because if we're making a big circuit zone, why wouldn't we? Is ultimately the question. Right. There we go. The bots are going to get flying on that. We now have oodles of power. And this is all going to start firing up at pace. So once all this gets actually going, it'll be interesting to see how well things are coping. I think that's going to be it for this episode. Next episode we will embark on making green circuits and blue circuits, and hopefully going over to gold science. So I'm going to say thank you very much for watching, like and subscribe as always, and join us again next time. Thanks a lot.